Hello everybody, it's Gary Halligan here, and I've got something awesome to look at today. This is a kit of a Mini Cooper from the company Laws. And Laws, I think, has been around for a little while now. I've got one or two other items from them that I've gotten in the past. What's unique about them, you can see it says Mini here. The blocks are actually mini blocks or nano blocks. So they're a little bit smaller than regular Lego blocks, and you'll see that in a second when I get everything out. But I got this on Temu, and I saw it on there, and I thought that's awesome. I've got to get the Mini Cooper to go along with a lot of the other Lego type cars that I reviewed. So you see we're going to get Mini Cooper with the British flag on top here. Should look awesome. If you look on the back, we unfortunately have a big sticker here, but we can see that it is going to have opening doors, and we can take the roof off to get into the interior. We should have some detail on the interior. Here's one photo of a real car, so I think this is going to be great. Notably here, it mentions that it's 1/24th scale. So I think this is the only one of these Lego or Lego type cars that I've built that actually indicates what scale it's supposed to be. So this should end up being 1/24th scale. So we will see what happens once it's complete, and we'll compare it to some other ones. So if we see what we've got in the box here, we've got, this is not an instruction booklet, it is just a fold out instruction sheet. So that might be a little bit unwieldy and a little bit hard to follow here. You got the parts list there, but it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. There's the completed car there. And then we have 1, 2, 3 bags of parts here. So if I get in close here, you'll be able to see that these are smaller than regular Lego pieces, if I can get it to focus on it there. So if I bring in, like, here's a Speed Champions car. So you can see the studs here on our Laws blocks are smaller than the studs on our regular Legos. So these are kind of mini blocks here. So that might make it a little bit trickier to build, but I think it will be cool. That might give us more detail as well. And, very cool thing, there are some printed blocks here. So that's printed there. It says Laws Mini. I don't think there are any stickers in this set. I think that the blocks with the details on them are printed. So that is very excellent. All right, I'm going to build this, and I'll get back to you and show you what we get. Okay, so we are back with our complete Mini Cooper, and what I would say here is that you should get this kit. It definitely has a couple issues that I'll talk about in a minute, but there are a lot of positives going on with this, and I'm really happy that I got this one. I think it was a great value. I paid about $10 for this one, so at that price, this is a fantastic kit. It looks great. It's in this nice sort of burgundy color. We've got the approximation of the flag on top, and as far as capturing the shape of the real car, it's unmistakable. It's instantly recognizable as a Mini Cooper, so it does a great job with that. And there are a lot of good features here too. So it has a couple printed parts. So the license plates on the front and the back are printed, and there are a couple printed parts in the interior too. We'll see those in a second. There's no stickers. There are no stickers anywhere on this. And it's got some other good features as well. So it's got opening doors. You can see the doors on both sides can open. And it has an opening rear hatch. There we go. So that's kind of awesome. Open the rear hatch there. All right, so definitely some excellent stuff going on there. If we take the roof off, see if we can do that easily here. There we go. So the hatch came with it, but that's all right. So we take the roof off, we can see the interior, and it's awesome. It has these fantastic checkerboard seats there. Those look really great. And as I mentioned, there are a couple printed parts with some gauges and some things like that. So a lot of good stuff going on here. Like I said, it does have a couple of issues. So one thing you can see here, there's no front windshield. You get the roof back on here. And you'll see one of the other issues here maybe is that in the back was a little bit of fit issue in the back end here. Not bad by any stretch, but there were a couple pieces that kind of needed to be pushed into place a little bit. What seemed to me is that these wheel well pieces were like a fraction of a millimeter too long, maybe. And that's what caused some issues in the back here. But this is a very minor nitpick. Once you have it completely together, there's no way to know that at all, and it looks great. So one of the other issues, though, it has is the back windshield. You can see one of the pieces is much cloudier than the other two. These two are real clear, and this one is cloudy, so that makes the back windshield look a little bit strange. But probably the biggest issue that this has is the pieces here that are meant to hold the axles at the right distance are very loose, right? So the wheels will just shift back and forth, right? These pieces are not tight at all. Even if you try to push them in here and get them in tight, they won't stay. So the wheels will just shift back and forth. But again, very minor nitpicks. I would say all of the issues I have with this are very minor things, especially when you consider how good it looks and how good it approximates the real car and the other features it has, like the opening doors. So the build on this was a little bit tricky, not because of any of the actual building. All the actual building was very straightforward, but it was a little bit tricky because, number one, the pieces are very tiny, and like all of these are just little one stud pieces here. And also because the steps were not broken up very much. So each step required lots of parts. So actually, if you're going to build this, during the build, you will spend most of your time just looking for the parts that you need. And you won't spend that much time actually building it. The building is pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's do some comparisons here. And based on the info I could find, which wasn't very much, it seems that Lego Speed Champions, the 8 wide Speed Champions, should be pretty close to 1/24th scale. And that's what this is supposed to be, is 1/24th scale. So we'll see how they compare here. So here is the Speed Champions Lotus Evija. So you can see that in our Mini, they are the same width, right? So they are pretty much the same width. Our Mini is significantly shorter, but that seems okay. And we know the Mini Cooper is a pretty small car in real life, so I would say it doesn't look bad with that. They may not be exactly in scale here, but they don't look bad together. They're not so far out of scale that it'll look strange or anything. Here is the Quan Guan Racing Series Toyota AE86. You might have seen in one of my earlier videos. That's, of course, also not a huge car. And it is, significantly larger than our Mini here. But they are the same width. So I would say it's not too far out of scale with your Speed Champions. It'll look good along with them. And it'll look good by itself, too. So that is the Laws Mini Cooper. If you can get this one, I would say definitely get it. If you like these kind of cars and you want to try something a little different, I think this is a great kit. I was really happy with how this one turned out. Despite those little minor issues, I think the final product here, looks really fantastic. So let me know in the comments how you feel about these mini blocks, and if you have any kits that use those, and let me know anything else cool in the comments, and we'll see you in the next review.